Sir, you go. Sir, you go. Yeah, yeah, come. Sir, come, please.
Young
Just 1 second, okay? We have our chief organizer.
I came here to review Sevadal organization, also strengthen the Sevadal for a future, because we, as a Sevadal, we are focusing on nation building and service to the people of India, and also organization building and leadership development. The way in which RSS is destroying our the culture of India and also idea of India. So they are destroying, they are dividing our people in the name of religion, caste, or a region or a language. We don't want them to divide our nation. So that's why uniting India to have a brotherhood concept, sisterhood concept. We are, as in Sevadali, we decided that wherever the RSS spread the poison, we will remove that poison and we'll have a love and faith in Indian people. And so that's why we are strengthening Sevadal. The way in which RSS is creating communal violence in Hindus and Muslims, when election comes, they always talk about Hindu, Muslim, Sikh, something else issues, Khalistan, Pakistan, and they always talk about Ali and Bali and Mandir and Masjid. They said, you are playing with the emotions of the Indian people. You are playing emotional card. Let's talk about idea of India, where people are talking about the safety and security of the women and the girl child. Our girls and women should not be harassed or raped by the BJP people. We are here to discuss about that. Let's talk about the people's agenda. And what is people's agenda? People's agenda is having a good education system, to having a nice healthcare system. The way in which the people of India, they died during the corona systems, like Modi and Shah, they were not able to control. And in fact, I would say they brought the coronavirus in India while inviting Trump in a stadium in Ahmedabad. So the nation has a different role. The Shashak, the governor, the people in the governance, they have a different role. They should talk about the education system, health systems, employment, farmers issue, and also the security of the people. So that's why we are now strengthening Sevadal to fight against the fascist forces.
So according to you, like most of your speech and your talks just now is, relating to eradicating the principles of the RSS. So you think that if the principles of the RSS comes down, or if it's like completely eradicated, you think India will become a better nation?
I would definitely, because those who are like any country, if you take example of Afghanistan also, any fundamentalist, fascist fundamentalists, they destroy country. They destroy the freedom of the country, because even the press, you come from a place, wherever the Talibani, Sanghi or Nazi, Sanghi is like RSS, Talibani is Afghanistan, and Nazi is, the Hitler. Wherever the fundamentalists are coming in the power, they first destroy thinker, they destroy the freedom, speech of a freedom. So the freedom of the speech, they also destroy your mobility, they also destroy your economic or educational base. So they don't want, any fundamentalists don't want people get educated or people get the kind of rights which Constitution has given to us. So that's why I really believe that even like if Talibani goes out of Afghanistan, Afghanistan will be a better nation. And Sanghi's idea will be removed from India. India will be a much more better and peaceful nation and have a more prosperity, more peacefulness. And I'm not saying only Sanghis, even the MIM, even Ashruddin Owaisi or whoever is, those fundamentalists who just create the parties in the name of the one religion or a one caste, they are really harmful for India.
How long are you planning to stay?
This time, like I am visiting entire Northeast by like 1 or 2 days in every state. So this time it's only for 2 days, but I'm planning to come again for a training camp for 5 days. And hopefully we'll have a training camp before December, and we'll have I also want to understand the culture of Nagaland, because like people of mainland India, they don't understand the different culture in the Northeast, and they always talk about the idea of India. But when you talk about the idea of India, you also need to understand the culture of the people, those who are living in hill areas and also in a different small state or any different culture that you need to understand. And I'm here for that, to understand the culture.
Okay, so earlier, sir, you missed out on, talking about the different departments in this Sevadal. So first is you mentioned the youth wing, and the others are?
The women Sevadal. So Sevadal earlier had like there's a one Sevadal, but we decided, because Rahulji also talk about that how to bring new or fresh people in party, and he also gave example that one person asked Rahulji that why youngsters are not joining political party, why educated people are not joining a political party, and he gave a very good answer, and I think now I work on that answer. He said the political parties are like a fixed pond, and there is no new water cannot come inside, and if there is no new water come in the pond, the water will go dry or will have a kind of a different kind of water which you cannot drink. So if you need to create a river, if you want to create a river, then you need to have a flow, the new water into the pond or flow. So that's why I think we want new generations to join political party and to work for a nation. That's why we created a women organization in Sevadal and also the young brigade. So now in 600 districts in India, we have a young generation, and I think 80% of the new Sevadal team is below 40 years now.
So sir, this is the first ever visit for any chief organizer to visit Nagaland. So what is your view on that?
I don't have a real information about, there might be in historical, I would say last 30 years was really very tough for Sevadal. There was less important of Sevadal after Rajiv Ji's assassination. So Sevadal was little down. So that's why maybe the no chief organizer or the president of Sevadal has not visited Nagaland. But I come from a grassroots. I come from a very small village, and I love to visit different communities and to understand the culture. So that's why I visited Mizoram and Meghalaya just 2 days back. So I am here to understand first. Wherever anybody, if you are a organization builder, then you have to understand the local complex. The complexity. If I don't understand the gender relationship here, if I don't understand the economic relationship here, if I don't understand the cultural relationship or the caste combination, I won't be able to strengthen the Sevadal here. So that's why I'm here to understand, and I hope we'll understand each other and we'll have a very strong Sevadal, and the way in which RSS is destroying particularly, and they are just threatening the minorities in India. And I would say the people of Nagaland have a greater challenge for the future, that how to stop RSS to destroy our nation.
And as we know, for even for a small post vacancy, they used to ask for graduation or anything. But in some of the political areas, the ministers or MLAs, they are a bit uneducated, but still they are holding a very high post. So what do you think about that?
I make a difference between the literacy and education. My grandfather was not literate, but he was very educated. So education doesn't come only from the formal institute. That is one thing. But it doesn't mean that the literacy is not very important. The formal education, formal literacy is very, very important. And most of the fundamentalist people or people in the power, they don't want the smart intellectuals or educated people come into the politics, because that they will be a threat for the established power structure. And particularly where you have a regional superpower structure, the regional political party does not allow educated people to come in a political process. And where Rahulji nowadays, he bring youngsters, very educated, activists, those who are fighting for the people. So he is now focusing on that. And that's why the street fighter like us now in politics, because I don't have any political background. Nobody from my family was in politics. So he straight brought me into the politics. If you see many other also in Sevadal, in the Congress party. So Rahulji is now changing the entire political perception of the old politician.
So after today's meeting, so what is going to be the next step?
I think we'll definitely, after this meeting, I will have a review meeting with the Sevadal team now, and we'll have how to form a district-wise Sevadal team, and also where this and how to organize a training program for the Sevadal, because ultimately in a political parties you are not just here for only power. We are here to build nations, to have a like rebuild our nation, because already nation is now destroying by the Amit Shah and Narendra Modi. They are looting our country. So that's why now we need to rebuild. So we'll have a training program how to rebuild India again, how to get the same freedom which we had 10 years back. So that I think we will focus on a training program and how to do a campaign for a next election. And I'm sure, I'm very confident, people are fed up with the local parties. People are fed up with the RSS and Sangh now. So the Congress has a greater chance in Nagaland to come in power, and will focus how to bring back freedom in Nagaland, how to bring back the good governance in the Nagaland. And that's why I will always say one more slogan: na rashan hai, na shashan hai, desh mein dushashan hai. Dushashan, you know, the Duryodhana and Dushashana. So the entire country is now exploited by the Duryodhana and Dushashan. Duryodhana is Narendra Modi and Dushashan is Amit Shah. And both of them, they are just creating problem for a country. And now it's a time for a Sushashan, for a good governance. Thank you very much.
So, Ajila Chief Guest, Shri Lalji Desai. He is the Chief Organizer of All India Congress Sevadal.